Hey guys, it's Tarkin coming at you with another game of Minecraft. Really, it's just wheat. You know the drill. We're gonna get some wheat. First, we'll get wheat seeds, a very important part of the process. And you might think, you know, if you haven't seen this before, that this is gonna be a reasonable thing. It's not. I'm going to be really delighted when I show you how much I have. We probably won't even go over the whole field, because, I mean, like, it's just bragging, right? I'm joking. Obviously, I'll show you the whole field. But first, more seeds. I have a straight area that we do farm. Also, you know, there's a few places that are like our preferred areas to get seeds, but this is like, this here is the heart of the field. This has ever been, you know, where the wheat happens, whereas the far-reaching tendrils of the wheat field have wandered very far indeed. There used to be like trees and everything here. This world used to be so different. You know, I don't play here much anymore. It's mainly just wheat. Once we started playing hardcore. But this is like this is my first Minecraft world, my first real one, the first one I think of as my own. How time flies. Only a year and a half. You know, whenever I started, I didn't even know you could plant wheat in this game. And look at me now. Yeah, look at me now. Ah, rain, lovely. Of course, the excess of the wheat field, born of a thunderstorm. And how like me to warp my life around a concept I didn't understand. Because there's a skeleton horse in the field one day, you see, and I'd never seen one before. And as I approached, you know, it turned into 4 horses, which I found impressive. I wanted to replicate it. I hadn't been recording. This would have been like before I started streaming, I think. Alright. This line was excessive, but you can't just leave the seeds on the ground. What's it all for? You know, like what's it all for if you just leave the seeds on the ground? Neither can we throw the wheat away. We have to turn it into hay bales, then put it in a box and forget about it. This is the order of things. Alright. Well, time to go. I'm like, why can't I remember how to... Okay, mind blanking. Nope. Oh my goodness. I just, I just Alt-Shift F4'd the world by accident. That's funny. I forgot how to fly. I forgot how to, how weird. F3, F4. Yeah. Obviously. Anyway. I haven't been playing a lot of Minecraft recently, you know. But when I did play, look at the wheat. From far away, people sometimes think it looks like sand. It isn't. This, of course, isn't all of it. You can't actually see all of it. It is beyond perception. Isn't it funny? I think it is. Anyway, let us go over here. There's wheat to plant. This sounds good. Perfect wheat planting music. I wouldn't be surprised if all the wheat farmers in the world actually listen to this for their real wheat planting purposes. I also would be surprised of it. You know, I can entertain both ideas. You know, I'm not super happy with the horses being in the field, but we can't exactly hit them. They're horses. We'll just have to accept that they're going to mess some of it up. Maybe a lot of it. I mean, it's not like they're llamas or wandering traders or something. We can't just get rid of them. They're horses. They belong here. The sand breaking through here is actually really excellent. Hey, Neo, how's it going? We're just planting some wheat. We're still alive in Diablo. Oh man, when I tell you it was close though. I could have bought the whole farm, but we lived. Finished up Act 3, which is like kinda heartbreakingly close to actually getting there. Like, what if I don't do it now? It's so much time. Oh well. We'll just, you know, keep on putting the shoulder to the wheel. Only one way to figure out if you're gonna be a hero or not, right? But I played for, I don't know, 6.5 hours, something like that earlier. So I had some dinner and thought, well, I was gonna play Total War, and then I thought, it's not long enough. Not to start a new campaign, you know. Plus, if I go to bed at a decent hour, I can wake up in the morning and play Diablo, or Total War, or anything. Could even plant wheat. I won't. You know, somewhere out there is someone who's going to have the most wheat in the world instead of me, because they, you know, have the dedication. They're not like me. Clearly, this is the wheat field of an undedicated man. Those little jungle trees are so funny. The ones that generate with just like a single block creeping up out of the ground. One amazing thing about Minecraft music is how well the sound of rain goes with all of it. But rain goes with practically everything. I'm not the first person to observe this. Like, I think of growing up and, like, having to milk the goat in the rain, you know, but, like, where we would milk them wasn't, like, in the same pen where they lived, you know, we had to, like, walk them over there. Which was terrible, because goats don't like getting rained on until they do. Anyway. And, but the shed that we milked them in had, like, a metal roof on it, and it sounded awesome whenever it would rain. It was just the best sounding. Which almost made up for getting rained on. No, I hated all that. All I wanted to do was wake up and play video games, but they explained to me that they had to show me how to be a grown-up, and when you're a grown-up, you can't just get up and play video games all day long and go to work sometimes, and then get home and play video games. A lie. Actually, I can do that. But I think, you know, like, maybe some of why I was so sad for so many years is because nobody told me a life like this was possible for me. You know, they all wanted me to do things the way that they wanted to do them. They didn't say, hey, look, man, if you just, like, do some stuff all in a row, you'll be able to play so many video games, it'll be fine. Like, you gotta know how to sell somebody a product. You know, just so much of my life wasted trying to be like other people. Well, not really, you know, trying to make them think that I was like them. Which I'm like deeply strange. It never worked. And people could always tell that I was like, you know, being a weirdo. It doesn't matter. You know, I don't worry about it. I'm just glad to be here planting wheat now. You know, life didn't have to end up this way. This is a good version of it for me. For now. But it's easy to forget, you know. Really easy to get hung up on happiness. Even for the best of reasons, it's still easy to get hung up on it. At least it's for me. Some sort of magnetism, I don't know. They could probably study it. But I won't let them. But there's this Bukowski poem called The Way It Is Now. I'm pretty sure that's the title. Which I will not recite to you in full because I don't have it exactly memorized. But the last line is, they will find in their case, as well as mine, that madness is caused by not being often enough alone. of course, you might be looking at this wheat field and thinking, this is not madness. Oh, no, no, this is like really reasonable behavior. I mean, I could explain all this. This is just normal human behavior here. I'm just taking it to a conclusion. The conclusion of the most wheat. I wish they had corn, though. I totally would have done a cornfield instead. But corn's, like, so good that, like, I feel like other people would have built a wheat field, but of corn, you know. If they'd had corn. Because, like, wheat's wonderful, right? But it's not as good as corn is. Corn is, like, so tall. And you have the vivid contrast of color whenever it's grown. Like, it's very nice. So we plant these underneath the vines and we'll see who wins. But I bet once, once the space is claimed by the wheat, because it's just growing into the block, right? It's not going above it. So I think once we plant it, it's already secured its future. How rude. There we go. Every now and then someone will come in and hopefully tell me like how to irrigate and stuff. And I have such a cheerful attitude about it because it's so fun. Here, John Henry, here's how to swing a hammer. It's always nice to just plant a little wheat, right? You can see, you know, the little changes that you make. A little bit of influence on the world, not too much. You don't want to change the whole world at one time. When someone was watching, they're like, you know, you could like edit the world to make it all wheat. I'm like, oh, I see. I didn't know that. But you know where's the treasure then? Bird. I guess we got a bird. Well, this was fun. Forgot how to do that. Remembered again by Googling it. That's a nice little bit of wheat planted, right? Oh yeah. So we got that whole section there, and then moved over. It's definitely getting there. I always feel just like such a surge of pride when coming over Wheat Mountain. Because there's just so much of it. So much of the rest of the field, you know, carries like a seam, you know, where the biome of the savanna was here, but like Wheat Mountain's so good. And it appears like that the front, you know, where this elevation is most of it, but then, you know, it's just massive. Just a massive mountain. Totally dwarfs the original wheat field. Just think back to the different eras of the wheat field. Like, we have these boxes here, we would ferry the seeds up. There was a time when we had like tons of seeds on deck. You know, we were grabbing seeds faster than we were putting them in the ground. What a glorious accomplishment, though I say so myself. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Just a shorter one, just wheat. Let's look at the stats real quick. They haven't changed much. Yep. Almost 360,000 put in the ground. 92 harvested. That's thousands, of course. Barely more than 250,000. That's so far from 500,000. Which, if I ever get there, I should at that point have the most wheat in the world, as opposed to now, where I'm not claiming it. Maybe one day I will. And if they ask to give me a statue, obviously I'll accept. And if they want me to give a speech, I might have one prepared. But I don't currently think I have the most. I'm not saying I do. I certainly have a lot of them, though. I could always have a little more. But I gotta go to bed. I just wanted to get a little bit of wheat planted into the ground here to sort of chill into the day after a long day of playing hardcore Diablo with pretty big stakes, My whole life was in my hands. But, I'll see you guys later. Bye, Neil. Good night. Anyone watching in the future? I hope the weather's nice. And, yeah, see you around.